Hey guys, how's it going? Well, I'm coming to you live from the living room here. Well, the saga continues with the car sale, and so I thought I'd give you a few more humorous stories here with that. If you're wondering why I've got my boggin on inside the house, I just came in from outside, and I've been making sure the cars had enough antifreeze in them. Of course, I waited to the last minute. It was going to be cold tonight, so isn't that the best time to do this when you're down to the wire on it? So that's what I'm doing. So anyway, we finished up the other day in the video about the car, selling that car on Craigslist, and you saw that video. I was kind of griping and complaining, and so I had a few more, and I'll try to remember them all, but let's see. The next one we had after all that happened was I had this lady email me a couple times, and had her name on the email and everything, and just a real descriptive, nicely worded email. It was a surprise to get one of those. Normally I get one that says something like, "Will you take 1,500?" And that's it. That's all the email says. Of course, those go right in the dump. So anyway, so that got she said she had a Volvo, a 2001 Volvo, which had just died. And my first thought was, well, imagine that. And then the second thing was, she said, well, they all say the same thing. They say, well, yeah, your car looks pretty close to what I need, and I just need something. I'm out of the car, and I got to be able to get to work and back, and that story, And at first I thought it was one of those scam emails, because they say the same thing. They say, I am interested in your car. What is the condition? Blah 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 blah. And then you reply to it, and it says, of course, it says, okay, we are satisfied with all the conditions. And when I see that crap, no, never. So. But anyway, so she was local, and she had her phone number and everything, so I thought it was legit. It was legit, but so I emailed back and forth with her a couple times. She asked about the car, and I spend my time telling her, everything I know about it. And so she said, okay, well, thank you for getting right back to me. I will text you. I will text you tomorrow at 4 p.m. about 4 o'clock when I get off work, so we'd like to come on out as soon as we can and check it out. So we need to get into something. And of course, by now, my BS level detector has went up. So, I put her at about a 50-50 chance, like all of them really, of even doing anything. And because you hear these same old stories. Everybody's desperate for a car. Everybody needs a car. If they're out of a car, they're walking. They got to have a car. And what do you think happened? I got here at 3:30. I burned the road up to get home from work a little early, and got into work early, got out earlier. So got here. You think I heard from a text message? No. Nope. 4 o'clock rolled around, nothing. 4:30 rolled around, nothing. 5 o'clock rolled around, nothing. 5:30 rolled around, nothing. So about 6 o'clock, 5:30, 5:45, 6 o'clock, I sent her another email, and I said, I've been here since 3:30. I hadn't heard a word from you. And she says, well, I just got off work, and I was just about to call you. Well, no, I was going to let you know. We've got another option. We're no longer interested. We got another option within the family. So she was a flake. She was not, in other words, here's the baseline of all this. These people that do all these stories, what motivates this, what stops it, what starts it, what derails it, is called MONEY. See, it's not the fact that car is $2,400. That's in line. We all know that. It's in line for what it is. If you go shopping for a car on Craigslist and you check out cars in that price range, there's a lot of bullshit out there. And so that's not the issue, and they know that's not the issue. The issue is this. So they don't have enough of this. So I said, okay, you're a flake. So no money. And then, let's see, where I was at, I think it might have been yesterday. That phone call I got in the other video, when I had to split that video up, I was going to try to make it all in one clip, and I couldn't. Well, that's that was a Hispanic guy calling me, wanting to look at it. And, you know, I keep having to do this. When I do this, it's because this screen goes dark like this, and I can't stand that. Oh, look, I'm further back now. I like my clock up there. Where is it? Right there? There? Yeah, I like my clock. It's a Starburst clock. I just heard that guy go by out here with that car that goes. It's some little Mirage, Mitsubishi Mirage, and it sounds like the differential's just about out of it. And it's funny as hell, man. He just cruises on by, man, like he's just as cool as everything. And his car's making this horrible noise, you know. Life in the suburbs. But anyway, so the Mexican guy calls me, and that's fine. You know, their money spends as good as others. I don't care who buys it. I'm not prejudiced like that. And so he calls me and he says, we'd like to come look at it. And when can we come look at it? And I said, well, I'm locally here in town right now. I'm out for a little while. I said, what time are you thinking of? And there's this big pause, you know, because you're putting them on the spot. They got to pick a time to actually do something. And he says, well, about 3:30. I said, okay, that's fine. I said, what I've learned to do now, I say, call me when you are on your way when you get there. Because I was about to go lunch. I'm not going home and screwing my lunch up for people like that. I know better by now. So I left there and I went to eat lunch, and I was probably going on 4 o'clock. And I was just about to finish my lunch up where I was at. And he calls me and says, well, and every time I pick the phone up and say hello, there's this like 2-second pause before somebody starts speaking. It's like, hello? No, yo, we called you about the car. Yeah. So, anyway. So I said, well, I'm about to finish my lunch. I said, I'll be there in about 15 or 20 minutes. Just hang out if you want to. He said, we're at your house. He said, okay. So I finished up my lunch and came on back home, burned the road up. Wasn't that far away. So I came down, and you've all seen my street out here. I came around the little S curve there and came down and turned into the driveway. When I turned into the driveway, there's no cars in front of my actual house out here. There's a side street over here where the perfectionist people live that always pick up every twig and thing out of the yard. There's a car parked in front of their house down the side street facing this way, a little Kia. And so I kind of looked over there, you know, and I mean, just faced right at this house here. And so I kind of look, you know, I look back and I look again. Nothing. Nobody gets out. Nobody says anything. So I thought, well, they're visiting them, I guess. I said, that figures that they're not here. Go figure. And so I just came on in, shut the door, sat down, and did, you know, got my jacket off and everything. And so I sit here about 5 or 10 minutes, and the phone rings. So I was like, hello? Another 2-second pause, 2 or 3 second pause. So, oh, yeah, we're at your house. I was like, I don't see a car out there. I looked out there. There's just that little car across the street. So those dimwits were sitting in that car, and they had to see me drive my car into the driveway of this house. And, you know, I told them the address. I sent them a text message with the address. Because everybody uses a GPS now, right? Or it's got it on their phone. And the house got the number right here on the top of the house. And they're sitting there right there in their car looking at me, go in the house and don't get out, don't do anything. So I said, oh, it must be you across the street. He said, well, we walk over. Yeah, or you could drive, just right across the street. So they drive it and everything, and don't say a word. They say a few things in Spanish and, you know, whatever. I picked up part of it. But they're looking under the hood of the car, and don't check any fluids. That's another thing I'll tell you in just a second. Don't check any fluids. Don't look at anything. Don't look under it. Don't look at the tires. Don't shake the front end to see if it got wear in the suspension. Nothing. They drive it and don't say a word during the drive. Just drive around, come back, back it back in. I said, you don't have to back it back in. Well, so what's he do? He backs it back in. And so I know he understands English. And he's sitting there and he's like taking his finger, he lifts the hood up, and he didn't do any of that crap I'm just telling you about. He takes his finger and he's like rubbing it on this metal line that's got some paint flaking off of it. And my dimmer went dim again. That screen keeps going dim. I gotta find a way to make that stop doing that. Drives me crazy. So anyway, he does this and then puts the hood back down, and he asked me about the price a little bit. And I said, yeah, I'm on negotiable. He says, okay. He said, well, what do you think about it? And I watched them drive off, and they drive off that little Kia, and the whole back end of that car's bashed. That car, it looks 10 times worse than this car would even think about looking. And I'm thinking, man, you people are stark raving freaking nuts, is what this is. This is a bunch of loonies. It's not over with yet. So this guy calls me last night, and he's asking all these questions, you know, that really are not relevant, you know, to anything. And he's another one of these that you say something and he doesn't respond for like 2 or 3 seconds. That drives people nuts. If you do that, don't do that. When somebody stops talking and you're sure of it, start talking. And so he said, okay. He said, well, I might come by and look at it next day or so. So I was thinking, yeah, sure. Mights, maybes, shoulds, and hope tos. We all know what tree that grows on. So, yeah, whatever. So I come home today, and I had to stop by the auto parts store for something for the other car out there. So I come on back home, and I'm trying to get home so I can work on this old car back here and get the fluids in it. And I come around the corner, and this time there's 2 cars sitting in front of my house out here, right directly in front of my house. 2 cars. I've never seen these cars before. So I'm not, now what? And I hadn't got a phone call or anything, nothing. So I give him the driveway, and it's that dude and his wife. They didn't call me, didn't say anything. He's like the people that I've just wrote completely off. They show up. Dang. So here again, I have to go show them car. They do the same spiel, and he's just talking nonsense. Just nothing. Just not a car buyer at all. And his wife is driving. They're middle-aged people, and he's driving a little Mazda 626, one of the oldest ones I've seen in a long time. And his wife has got a fairly new, look like one of those Hyundai Sonatas, a nice one. And he mentions it. I said, are you looking for a car? And he says, well, I've got that Mazda, but she can't drive it because it's a 5-speed. And so I thought, oh my God. I said, if it's for her, she ain't going to like it, because if she's coming out of a freaking 2012 Sonata or Optima or whatever that thing was, into that, I don't, no. So, but she's nice, and we get in. The first thing she says, she's backing it up a little bit, and she says this. She says, oh, well, I guess it doesn't have a backup camera. And I thought to myself, I used to be a real mean guy and real smart ass. And I've older age now, middle age, I've become more diplomatic and sensitive to people's feelings. But I seriously did. I thought to myself, I said, you know what? I said, you're about to have a backup camera hanging out of your ass. So she pulls out, and she's nice enough. She's kind of talking stuff, So I'm all right. We're gonna see this through, just calm down. So she goes down the street, and then she, over the speed bump, driving, very nice, very good driver. And she gets down to the end of the block down there, and this is the comment, and I knew this killed it right away. She said, and she's not tall at all. She says, well, this driving position and my leg position and to the steering wheel reach out, she said, this ain't gonna work for me at all, like that. I'm thinking, fuck. And so what do we do now? So she's gonna drive my car all the way around the block, back down the other road down there, and all the way back around, and she's just chatting around, and they're talking about Toyota V8s and her daughter grew up and went to Mountain Gap School and now she's got a PhD in psychiatry and this, that, and the other. And she likes the way the car shifts. And, yak, 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 freaking yak on, you know. And by this time, I'm not responding to anything. I was so freaking pissed off, I wanted to just fucking choke you, you know. And, you know, guys, I'm going to tell you something. I know there are some of you who are about to have the patience level. Somebody said that, they said, Tyler hates everybody. No, I don't hate everybody. I don't hate anybody. You're not supposed to hate anybody. But I have very, very, very little patience with most of the people I encounter. Because, you know, I am a person, just give you a little bit of insight real quick, a little bit of online YouTube insight to me, is I'm a person that, you know, I set a goal, I do it, and if I'm not going to do it, I admit it, and I do something else. You know, this crap with not being a serious, I'm not an overly serious person, but I'm not going to, you know, if I look at a car on the internet that I know I'd never like, I'm not even going to show up. I've said that. So by this time, I want her out of my freaking car. I want them to leave, you know, and I'm of this. This is what I want to say to people now. I can't say it, but this is what I want to say to people. I want to say, if you're serious, you come bring money and buy my car, either that or get the fuck out of here. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to hear your life story. I don't want to hear your car that broke. I don't want to hear your wreck. I don't want to hear where your daughter went to school at. I don't want to hear what you've been sick with, you know. Because, you know, I'm not that's not getting me towards where I want to go. I want to sell my car and move on with my life. I'm not interested in your stuff. Basically, you know, I mean, if we're friends, it's totally different. But some stranger like that, it's like this. I don't give a fuck. Okay, I really don't. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it either. You know, the only people that I'm interested in to encounter with this whole deal is somebody that walks up and they say, look, I got a stack of cash here and this is the car I want and I want to drive it, make sure it's not going to blow up on me. And then I'm going to give you the money and you give me the key and the title and we part ways forever. That's the people I want to meet on this. These other people, you know, I might as well be going to the mall or the library or Walmart or someplace like that and just hang around in proximity of these people. That's how much good they're doing me. You're dragging me down, man. So anyway, that's the updates. So the Looney Tune people of Craigslist who, oh, I forgot to tell you. Yeah, we're talking about the oil and stuff like that. Guess how many people out of probably, I think 4 people have looked at that car now. Guess how many of those people, 5 people, guess how many of them have actually pulled the oil stick out and looked at the oil and make sure it's got oil in it? 1. Guess how many have looked at the transmission fluid to see if it's burned up or not? 0. Guess how many looked in the coolant reservoir to make sure there's coolant in it and it's got coolant in it? 0. How many have looked underneath it? 0. How many have looked at the tires? You know, besides just looking like that at it? 0. You know, I don't know, guys. They're confused. You know, if I was selling a car out here that had a fender falling off of it or it was dripping a little bit of something or, you know, something like that, or had a check engine light on, or the seatbelt wouldn't latch, they'd love that. They'd say, oh, yeah, we'll take this car. Yeah, it's, you know, I guess I can't reconcile a fairly cheap car that's not screwed up. You know, maybe I should like disable some stuff out there, like let half the air out of one of the tires and unhook one of the headlights so it doesn't work, and maybe, you know, tear the wiper blade off one side and say, look, it's got some stuff wrong with it. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, well, we expected that on this for this price. It's okay. It's okay. Here, let me go get my money. Will you be here in an hour? I'll go to the bank and get it. I'll go to the bank and get it. If that was the case with that car, I'm telling you, they're crazy enough. These people are screwed up in the head enough. That's what they do. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should get my other car and drive into the side of it and put a big dent down the side, because they're like, I almost am seeing this. I can't believe I was talk for 20 minutes, but I'm almost getting this impression, like, because like, they say, well, does it have any dents or anything in it? And I say, no. And I almost can picture them saying, oh, shit, I was kind of hoping it'd have a dent in it. You people are mental. You people, you Craigslist buyers, you're mental cases. I think some of you should be locked up, really do. So I see by my timer I've got about 10 seconds left, guys, so I got to cut it off. So thanks so much for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll update you when this debacle ends. See ya.